In 1905, R.W. Reed opened a dry goods store in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Saddles and just kind of a general store with things that people needed when they were still riding their horses into work in Tupelo or riding their wagons in.
And he decided, well, he could make a better living selling clothes than groceries, so he ended up started R.W. Reed Company.
And probably it was in the 20s or maybe the late teens when we sold the first dress in Tupelo. The story was that it came back 2 times. That same dress was returned 2 times because it just didn't fit right.
We've always been in Tupelo, yes. And the downtown location, we've been here for most of the time we've been in business.
The original store was across the street on the other side of Main Street here. But then my grandfather needed a bigger store, and so he moved over on this side. And so since then we've been on this side probably for 90 years, and it's kind of grown as other neighbors have gone out of business.
Well, Mr. Reed Sr., the founder of the company, was always a promoter, and he was always willing to try whatever.
He had a lot of energy. My grandfather had a lot of energy, and he hired the mayors of all the small towns around, and they would have like Fulton Day, and they would give a portion of the proceeds to Fulton, and they'd have the mayor of Fulton be on the sales staff that day, and they'd have Amory Day or Mantachi Day or whatever, and he just did it as a way to get attention to the store and try to be different.
It's my understanding that we were the first store in Tupelo that had a real air conditioner, and at the time I think there were some people that were kind of concerned about that.
Some of the farmers, there was a rumor going around that you'd get the flu if you went in and out of air conditioning, and he spent all this money on air conditioning the store, and some people were afraid to come in because they thought they'd get the flu, but he said once they tried it, they seemed to like it on those 100-degree days.
In 1929, the stock market crashed, leading to the Great Depression.
It was hard. It was very hard. I mean, 30% of the people were unemployed, so that means 1 out of every 3 people didn't have a job, so they didn't have any money to buy anything. And the others didn't make much on their job, so it was tough.
Well, it was so bad that people that came in and bought stuff on charge accounts, we weren't even expecting to get paid back on those. It was pretty bad. And actually, Mr. Reed sold the store at one point during the Depression, and ended up buying it shortly after he sold it. Actually got it back, so it was pretty bad.
On April 5th, 1936, an EF5 tornado tore through Tupelo, killing hundreds and injuring thousands.
When the town itself was just destroyed, most of it. I was lucky that our store was not destroyed. This part of Main Street was just off the path of the tornado. And my grandfather came down to the store and told people, take what you need and pay when you can. And he didn't charge anybody that didn't have the money to pay for clothes.
Following World War II, R.W. Reed looked to expand and remodel.
Because he was a very optimistic person, he believed that the town was growing and we had the right merchandise that people wanted. And
it was really after the war that they survived. The store stayed open during the war, and people had started coming home, and it started booming, and so that's the reason they remodeled the store, to make it bigger, better, more modern.
R.W. Reed had 3 sons, Bob, Jack, and Bill. Bob and Jack both worked in the department store with their father. This sparked a long tradition of Reed family members working in the store.
I used to love to come down and visit my daddy, who was working down here, and that was always such a treat to be able to see him and when he was at work.
We used to come down with my parents, and we would run through all the clothes racks and play hide and seek and all when we were really little. And they would let my sister and me and my cousin all work on the bow machine, and we would do that. It was a lot of fun.
I did about every job I think you can do there. I so badly wanted to get out of working stock that they needed somebody to drive the van when I was probably 16 years old. And I was going down this little road that goes up to Jackson Street, and it just has a little incline on it, and I would get up to the incline and have to look for traffic each way, and I would stop and I couldn't get going, and the engine would die, and I'd roll down the hill, and then I'd go back up and I'd look, and then the engine would die, and I'd roll down the hill. And there weren't any cell phones back then, so there's nobody to call, and I was too scared to call anybody anyway, and I couldn't figure out what to do about it. So finally I just said the only way I'm ever going to get to ever drive this truck again is if I somehow figure out how to finish this route and get home. And so I just took it from the bottom of the hill and went straight up and didn't look either way, and just ran up onto the next road, and luckily nobody was coming. And I got back to the store and didn't tell anybody. And that night I went out and got one of my uncles to teach me how to drive a stick shift, so I could figure out how to do that. So I got to drive the Reed's van for a couple of years.
Yeah. So growing up, when I was about your age, I had all my older cousins. I was the youngest out of all the cousins, including Uncle Jack's kids, who were the older cousins, and we used to go around to all the display windows and act like we were real live mannequins, or I guess not live mannequins. And yeah, I had a great time growing up in the store.
Some employees spent their whole careers at the store.
I guess my father was the longest ever working, because he worked here 70 years.
So we have somebody in the office, Dale Butler, who has worked here right at 50 years.
I started in 1968. It's meant family. That's the reason I've been here all these years. I do work with my sister, and my nephew has also worked here. Mr. Biddle, who works in the office, his brother used to work here. And Miss Louise that works downstairs, her son works here, and her daughter used to work here. And Mr. Rush downstairs, son works with him. So this is all family.
I've been working here for 43 years. I started with Reed's 25th day of September of 1975.
In the early 1950s, an important member joined the Reed's family, one who is still there today.
So we say he came the year I came. Bucky used to be a dime to ride him, and when we brought him back, he had broken down. We brought him back, got him fixed, and we made him free.
Actually, Bucky, the horse up there, I used to ride it when I was a little girl.
Reed's opened its gift shop at the end of the 1970s.
And so we started just a very small gift shop with our first China line was Richards and Norrie. And then we added Fitz and Floyd and then others after that.
And then when I got out of college, she needed some help, and so I came on board.
I started in the gift shop in the back, receiving all the products, all the things that you see in here. I checked all of it in and priced it all.
The mall at Barnes Crossing brought changes to Tupelo, and Reed's was an important part of that.
The mall opened in 1990, and Reed's was one of the first stores here, and we were the first local store to be here. So we've been here 28 years.
I've been here at the mall location since the day the store opened. It was on a Wednesday, and I worked the schedule of 1 to 9.
Reed's wasn't just groundbreaking as a local department store. It was also the first store with a 3D mural, designed and made by Morris McCain, the store's longtime shoe department manager.
This little piece right here is one long flat piece of foam that I have right there. Then I cut another one a little shorter and laid it, and another one and laid it, and another until I built that up. But I carved it, sanded it down so it all looked like a collar, and then I chopped it off, see?
In the past few years, downtown Tupelo has undergone a massive revitalization. Reed's downtown was a big part of that.
Just by being here and being such a big part of the downtown Main Street and Spring Street and Front Street, we have certainly been one of the foundation cornerstones of downtown.
Not very many communities across the country still have a locally owned, family operated department store still viable in their downtown. And the fact that it takes up almost a whole city block is huge for us, and we consider it an anchor for our downtown.
What is it that sets Reed's apart?
So many fond memories of Reed's when I was a child. I can remember specifically when I was getting ready to go to first grade. I was going to a new school in a different city, and my parents took me to Reed's to get all my clothes for the first of first grade, and it was so exciting, and I got great dresses, and I can remember a little blazer that I got to wear, and it was an exciting time, a fun time in my life, and I associate that time with Reed's.
To have somebody when they come in feel special, and we try to, customer service is always important.
You know, we're one of the few stores that still has a live person answer the phone rather than go to a robo operator doing that. We think that's important if somebody gets a real person when they call.
Yes, I'm one of the few people that answer. I say hello Reed's to everybody every time this phone rings. And then I put them to whatever department they want.
Well, gift wrapping, free gift wrapping, certainly one of them. We're a lot more of an exception now on that.
Well, I've shined shoes since I was a young kid in high school. For my weekend change, that's what I would do on Fridays and Saturdays. But I started back doing this after Mr. Reed passed. He was looking for me a job, which I'm retired from the phone company now, but he had a shoe stand, and I decided if he let me have that stand, I would shine shoes in his business. So this is how I got here.
Alterations, well, I do the men's department, the women's department, and the children's, and all the Boy Scouts, and all the men's suits, and all the beautiful ladies' clothes. I enjoy it. It's so much.
Filling a literary niche in downtown Tupelo is Reed's Gumtree Bookstore.
Our motto is where readers and writers meet in Tupelo, Mississippi. So we try to bring in a lot of local authors to meet people and sell their books here. We support local artists and entrepreneurs, and then I think people, I know I'm proud of what we give back to the community. We give a lot of support to good things in the community that we believe in, like the Boys and Girls Club or the Salvation Army Homeless Shelter or the Boy Scouts or the Regional Rehabilitation Center. We're very generous with giving money back to the community. And
after more than a century of success, Reed's looks to the future with new faces and new ideas.
Me being a new person, new family member, new generation coming in, I'm supposed to be, looking at that. My cousin Claude and I are supposed to always be ever vigilant on that. Internet, and that's an exciting and scary thing all at the same time. So we're going to try to figure out how Reed's can find a niche in that world.
And then there's Core Cycle Plus Outdoor, which we own, which doesn't have Reed's in its name, but which is our newest venture.
I really wanted to open a business that sold a lot of things that I was passionate about, like bikes and tents and sleeping bags and wakeboards and climbing gear and stuff like that. We sell bikes and running gear, hiking gear, climbing gear, clothing, wakeboards, wake surfboards, stand-up paddle boards, sunglasses, all kinds of stuff.
We're trying to have a lot of younger people want to spend their money doing things more than just owning things, and so we're trying to make that an experience-driven store.
So, what does Reed's mean to you?
Oh gosh, it has meant a way of a life for me. It helped me raise my children, and it helped to put them through school. And for me personally, it's been an ideal job for me to raise my family, to do the things I needed to do, and feel like I'm part of a family. It makes me feel, it really means a world. I mean, it's kind of hard to put that in the words because I've worked here 43 years, and I can't imagine working anywhere else that would have allowed me to to take care of my family the way Reed's has.
And you?
It means a lot. It's like your second family away from home, and I like being around them.
And you? Reed's, oh, I love Reed's. It's like a family. And so I enjoy coming down here and seeing everybody. It feels like a family. Yeah, it does. I love being part of Reed's and helping everybody. It's a good feeling.
Reed's, well, it's a family. It's a business, but it's a family. And when you need help, they help you. And it's a lot of fun to work here.
A job, first of all. Something where I can get up and come every day and not sit around the house and grow old. But it means a lot to me. Just doing it for Mr. Reed since I took care of him for his last few years on this earth.
I think Reed's means community and family to me. I love how the Reed's family and the Reed's store is so supportive of everything that goes on in Tupelo and really in North Mississippi. And also I love how they're a part of so many special things in my life. You know, I got my clothes for first grade here, and my Ava gets her clothes for things like father-daughter ball here. And my sweet husband Jim got the suit that he wore when we were married from Reed's. So we have lots of special memories that tie us to this store, and I love that family for that reason.
Well, Reed's means it's my life, really. Reed's means a lot to the community too. We help a lot of people behind the scenes, and of course it's been in the family for 113 years, so that says a lot for Reed's.
It's family. That's what it's always meant. It's meant family. That's the reason I've been here all these years.
You know, Granddaddy would always say, Jack Sr. would always say that, you know, what's good for community is good for business. And so that's how he operated. And so a lot of what I do here at Reed's is making sure that Reed's is always involved in the community.
It is the Reed's family. You can't really separate the two because the family is so involved with the business, but they're also involved in the community. And to me, they're the essence of the Tupelo spirit.
Reed's means to me, it gives me confidence. It gives me pride in my work because I know I'm helping people. They come in here for a lot of various reasons, shopping. Some of them just like to come in and visit, and that's fine too. And it gives me joy because I know that they're happy with their purchases. They know they've made a good purchase because we've always had quality products, and all of our vendors, about 9 times out of 10, have always backed our products, so that makes it good for us. But I have enjoyed working here. It's a family-owned business, family-owned atmosphere. We're all one big family. We all look after each other, so that makes it good.
Okay. Of course, Reed's is a job for me, and it supports me and my daughter, and but it's also more than just a job. It's something I love to do, and I'm proud to be associated with the store.
It means a lot. My great-grandfather started it, then my grandfather ran it for a while, and now my uncle and my mom, and so it's obviously very significant in my family, and I feel like it is in the community as well. I'm just proud to be part of it, proud to be part of this family, and hope that I can, you know, just do a little bit to carry on the legacy that's been put in place before me.
Well, I love that it's a family business, and that the employees that are here are all family. I mean, I feel like it's a big family of employees. So it's just a good place to work with a good feeling. But Reed's to me is just a really good place to spend my days.
Reed's means an awful lot to me. It's part of me. My grandfather started it, and I feel a real responsibility to him to take care of the store, for it to be attractive, for it to look nice, for it to be successful. Because what we really do, our family has this business for one thing, to make a nice living for us, but also to be able to have the ability to give back and invest in Tupelo, in our community. We think, my dad always told me, he said, you make whatever part of your world a better place. That can be a small little part, or it can be the big part, but whatever corner of the world is yours, you make it a better place. So the Reed family has always felt like it was important to give back to Tupelo and to make Tupelo the best it could be, and if it was good, Reed's would be good.
To me, Reed's means a way of life. And so what Reed's has done for 4 generations in our family has provided a place for people to work and to learn a work ethic when they're young, and to a place for people to work as they get older if they want to be in the family business. But it's also provided the income for us to go out and help other people and do things in the community to lift the community up. It's provided salaries for families. It's provided a place for us to get clothes, and it's provided us an outlet for living our lives the way that we want to. And so, what does it mean to me? Well, I take a lot of pride in it. Personally, I'm proud of my family's history in it, of my grandfather and my father and uncle and their generations, and then our generation now with myself and my sisters and my brothers on the board of directors. So I'm proud that we've been able to be part of a business that has been able to provide good jobs for a lot of people for a long time, and to be part of the economy of a town that has been the trade center of North Mississippi, and has been contributing to the quality of life in the community. We've been able to give back to it. I'm a very lucky man, and I'm lucky to have had the opportunities to be a part of it.